Most authors think that their words build their authority, but the truth is that the market decides before it reads a single word.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
Bad design, incorrectly aligned design doesn't make people necessarily think less of your book. It removes you from consideration in the first place. Once you see what's actually being evaluated, you'll understand why some books feel credible before they're ever opened. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established leaders write the right book so that they attract the right clients without overwhelm, without overthinking, and they do it fairly quickly because we do the planning up front. And I make it fun with gamification. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video, comment below, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel so that you can get more videos like this that will help you build your business with a strategic asset in the form of a book. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 principles about book design that help you build authority before a single word is read. Because number 1, authority is decided visually before it is validated intellectually. We literally judge a book by its cover. If a book, and the thing is, this is why I'm trying to move away from bad design, because sometimes these covers are excellently designed. They're beautiful. They just don't communicate what the reader's looking for. That's why one of the things I suggest to you do is that you look at like 5 to 10 covers of books that are like the one you want to write and are selling well. They're bestsellers, they're 5 stars. You know people are actually reading these books. And you know that people that you want to read your book are reading these books. What's the through line of those covers? Because that helps you, at least on a first glance, signal, I am the right book for you. Literally, people look at the cover and they think yes or no. Number 2, your book design is either reinforcing your expertise or undermining it. When someone looks at a book cover, they will think, okay, this looks like something a pro that I might want to hire. And they don't think those actual words, but that's sort of the underlying psychology that's going on. They're thinking, yeah, that book looks like it will tell me the information I want. Let me here is a very typical expert book. And this, and I did write an article about trends in book covers for 2025, and I'll be doing it every year. But honestly, they don't change that much. But this is what's typical of the type of book. If you're trying to write a book that will attract your clients, this is the trend right now. Big, bold words, not very much imagery. You got a title that is provocative without telling you everything, and then the subtitle tells you what it's all about. What this does is it gets your reader's attention. It visually looks like something an expert would write, and then they immediately go to the subtitle to decide, is this a book I want to read? That's what's going on in the world of book covers. So, number 3, a misaligned cover creates doubt before trust has a chance to form. I think, in honestly, even though this book right here, Public Speaking Superpowers, is suddenly selling really well. In fact, I made way more money selling that book without trying in December than I've made since I started. I was like, whoa, I'm not too sure what I did in December, but honestly, I think that's why, even though that is a bestseller and it won awards for its content, I think the cover does it a little bit of a disservice. Unless I'm going for the market that I think I'm going to be going for with that one. I think that book is perfect for teenagers. So I'm thinking the homeschool market. And it will work for teenagers more than it would work for a business person. A business person's gonna look at that and go, "It's um, too basic." And honestly, that's okay because it is. That is a public speaking 101 in a book. If you're an expert speaker, you don't need to read that. However, interestingly enough, I've had expert speakers read it and tell me how good it is, and I know at least one of them has read it 3 times. So, you never know. But if you're new to the market, if people don't really know you, you want to give your book a leg up. And one of the best ways to do that right up front is to have a cover that makes sense to the audience you're trying to go for. Number 4, your book is not judged against other books. It's judged against expectations. Yes, other books set those expectations, but it's still an internal thing. They're not saying, does this book look like this other book I liked? No, they're saying, I am looking for a book that will do this for me. Does that cover look like it will do this for me? I know we're not supposed to judge books by their cover, but we do. We do. It's baked into our psychology. And number 5, publishing decisions are not aesthetic. They're strategic positioning moves. Now, that brings me to this cover. I had 2 covers I liked. This one and another one I actually liked better. But I thought I would do a poll. And this is the cover that won. Interestingly enough, this cover does not communicate what I needed it to communicate. The other one did. If I had used the other cover, the one I really liked, more likely it would have sold even better because it was more like the book I showed you earlier, The Blue Ocean Shift. It had bold words. I think one letter was like an icon, like a little house icon. And it communicated expertise better than this one. This one's a little bit too feminine. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not what the book isn't about web design for women. It's about web design for authors, speakers, and coaches, and it doesn't communicate that. So a book cover can be pretty and not do its job. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about 3 ways to instantly improve your book's authority signals. These will be 3 actionable things you can do to make sure that your book cover does the job it's supposed to do. Get people to buy and read your book. Until then, this is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.